Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Watcher of Realms video. Guys, we're going to be checking out the new patch information which is coming next week. Looks like we've got some cool stuff on its way. Also going to have a look at the events which are coming up this weekend, the different summoning stuff as well. See the new heroes that are coming into the game and make some decisions. Should we be summoning for these things or not? So lots going on. We're just kind of coming towards the end of the Pyro events that have been going on. Honestly, I mean, this is, I spoke about it with Ivy Lee yesterday. Pyro is an absolute game changer and has been really, really cool on my account for pushing a bunch of different stuff, actually. We do have some different summoning events which are going on from Friday through Sunday like normal. You've got the 2x events which are running on both types of shards. So if you want to get involved, if you're a newer player, I'd say these are great. But actually for later players, it definitely feels like the 10x are decent as well if there's specific heroes that you want. I've got to call it out. The 3 epics available on the 10x this weekend are all really, really good. Yeah, so Baron, he's got this unyielding ability in his passive. So he's got this ability basically to deny death. Yeah, and also he's got a shield ability as well. So he's actually just a really good tank. It could kind of like, yeah, it could come in. I mean, he carried my early game content hard on my account. So Baron's not a bad one at all. Laurel is a bit of a one-of-a-kind, like, rage booster. You put her down, you pick her up, she basically enhances the rage of everybody around her, which means that they're going to get their ult a lot quicker. So she's involved in a lot of very cool comps, honestly. I use her in, like, a rage regen type of Guild Raid 3 setup, which I showcased, I think, yesterday or a couple of days ago. I also am working on a rage regen Guild Boss team, which has Laurel in it as well. So she is definitely, like, even with a bunch of legendaries, she gets into a lot of my squads. A bit like a Dolores, not as crazy as Dolores, but a bit like a Dolores for, you know, just kind of like coming into teams and making a difference. Aatrox is a bit of a weird one. I do have him. I got him recently. He is great in the arena against AoE mobs. He's got a reduced cost in the arena, but his cost is already super low. And he's basically, like, he goes out there to die. He goes out there, he dies, he leaves this kind of like fiery pit under where he was, which just nukes stuff down. You just literally build him full attack and let him die. But his ability to come back is super cheap. His revival time, 20 seconds. It's super cheap. I don't know if you actually get that reduced as well. Yeah, it gets reduced in Awakening 1. I think it's just a 1 time. But anyway, and the cost gets reduced as well. So he ends up being this kind of like unit you just throw down again and again. Against the Artifact raid, I use him and Cerberus. They do a similar type of job to basically pump damage on the boss whilst cleaning out the ads. Yeah, all they're doing is going out there to die. They get eaten up by the ads. The ads die whilst they walk through their kind of like fiery pit, and it's also doing damage on the boss at the same time. It's pretty cool strat, actually. Maybe I'll show it on a video. If you guys want to see that, let me know. We then got Bierna, who's one of, I mean, just like a high continuous damage. This hero I do not have, but she definitely does a lot of work against me in arena teams. I see her popping up a lot. It's just like a high damage cultist. She will go with Pyro if you've got Pyro. She's got the AoE damage ult, which looks pretty damn sweet, by the way. Yeah, so I think she's high damage, good hero. And then this is the one I really want to talk about because he's new. This is Kai. A bit like Jon Snow, does he? I don't know. Looks a bit like Jon Snow. Oh, he's got the dragon wing for a cloak. I like it. So he's a marksman, he's got piercing here. Kai employs his massive crossbow to disguise his true mastery of tactics by strategizing, strategically utilizing terrains and traps. Not only provides considerable damage, but also control. So he's basically got AoE damage, he's a marksman, and he's got AoE control as well. We've got a talent here. Every 15 seconds, next basic attack is changed into placing 1 snare. Triggers when enemies pass by, dealing 100% damage to up to 3 nearby enemies, immobilizing them, and doing AoE damage. Okay, interesting. So basically slowing down like mobs of enemies whilst doing damage to them. The snare lasts at most 30 seconds, dealing 25% extra damage against anyone who is immobilized. So then just got a straight damage hit here, up to 5 enemies on a basic attack. The AoE damage. His ult here launches a cluster projectile at 1 enemy, causing explosive impact upon contact. The explosion does AoE damage. bit like, I think Kai, who I've got, does something similar to this. To 8 nearby enemies. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. It's quite good range. Going to be good for like DRA 3. After a short delay, the small bombs detonate. So yeah, a bunch of AoE damage and can do that worm snare as well. So then got a passive here, Doomsday Cluster, 20% chance of immediate second cast. Interesting. And then another passive, upon triggering the snare, increases his crit rate by 20%. That's actually cool. So you can build him with 80% crit pretty consistently here because you're going to be triggering that snare a lot. And he gets more crit damage. So I don't know what his damage looks like. I don't know if anyone's seen him in action on like the Forerunner or something like that. Maybe someone like Mabucket would have tested him out. But interesting kit. Definitely a bit different to the marksman we've seen so far. I've got quite a marksman heavy roster right now, so probably not someone that I'm pushing for, but he's got a very interesting kit. So I guess down to you guys. You know what you need, but I would say the epics definitely are good in this 10 times event this weekend. Okay, let's move on to the patch. There's actually quite a juicy patch coming up. They've got all of the patch notes on their Discord. If you've not been there, you should probably just go there. That's where I get my info from at the moment. But yeah, basically we've got a new faction coming in. We've got some changes to gearing in terms of how you can recast gear. We're going to that. And then they've got some changes to Guild War. That's like the big call outs. So got a bit of balancing on faction and hero. So new faction, Supreme Arbiters, will be coming in December. So that's going to be just over a week away. Some of the existing heroes are going to join that. So Valkyra is going to become part of the Supreme Arbiters as an extra faction. She's also going to get a reduced cost in the arena by 5. That's actually nice. I like it when they do these reduced cost in arena. It really kind of makes some of the heroes that are not arena worthy because they're just so expensive, you know, a decent option. The new hero that we saw last week, Constance, really, really cool legendary tank that's got the ability to do the Invigorate. I didn't actually manage to pick her up, but super cool. She also joins the Arbiters and gets that reduced cost in the arena. We've got... I actually don't think this is a chat. I think this might be a new hero. I don't recognize the name, Nash. And I was looking through. I can't find him. So I think he's a new hero that must be joining the Arbiters. Unleashes a furious flurry of 5 consecutive chops. Got a fighter coming in. You can kind of read through his skill set here, but looks like it's going to be attack-based, increasing his attack by percentages on, and he can attack 5 targets 2 tiles ahead. Actually, I love the fighters that have got that kind of extra range. Okay. We've got a defender coming in, Gorza. So yeah, it's a new tank, basically going to be scaling additional defense as he goes. Again, you can read through his kit if you want to. It's all on the Discord stuff. We've then got these changes to Guild Wars. So it looks like initially there's going to be 2 legendaries coming in, and then 2 of the existing legendaries go into this kind of like Supreme Arbiters. Maybe they'll move some epics into there as well. I would think they would, just to flesh it out a bit. So here we go. Guild War. They're changing the battle power between, or I guess the way the affiliation works between soldiers and heroes. So now it's going to be less complex. It's literally like whatever your total battle power is going to be what gets added to your demon soldiers, rather than it kind of being a bit of a mess. They're also adjusting some of the lords. They've added this, I love this actually, a quick affiliate feature. So you can now literally, like, whichever ones you're about to use, whichever demon soldiers are about to go into battle, they're going to add a quick one-tap button that just adds your highest battle power units to your demon soldiers. That way you don't have to kind of be messing around. I find I'm always kind of like just messing around. Have I got the right ones added to the ones I'm going to use in this squad? So that's quite a nice feature. Added some new epic demon soldiers as well. Shadowcaster and Necromancer. Both, you got one from the Guild shop there and one from Guild boss chests. Adjusted some demon soldiers for improved balance. So the Soulbone Archer, I don't have him to full yet, and it just seems like he's absolutely broken right now. So they've reduced the damage of him, which is good. They've reduced the damage of reduced the HP of Fallen Reaper and Demon Soldier Skeleton Guardian as well. Slightly increased the attributes of Knight of Destruction, Uncommon Destroyer, and Lightning Guard. Okay, so just kind of like tweaking the numbers, making sure that the demon soldiers have got a bit of balance, which I like actually. It's still a new feature. They're still kind of finding their feet with it. And so far, I've been enjoying it. Like the Guild Wars, I think, have been a good feature they've added in. Added battle report sharing as well, which is cool. And then there's going to be a bunch of kind of like interface changes, that type of stuff in the Guild Wars. This is a cool one as well. So in Gear, they're adding a Gear recast system. So once you've cleared Nightmare 8.4, you're going to be able to go into Hero, Gear, and then Foundry. And basically, you get the chance to recast Gear and basically re-roll your substats. So Mythical Gear with an enhancement level of 4 or higher. Yeah, so you've got to have leveled it up a bit, enhanced it a bit to level 4 or higher. Gear Recast will reset all stats of all secondary attributes of the gear while preserving the attribute types. So I'm guessing what that means is if you've rolled and they've just rolled crap, it's gonna re-roll those stats. So you get a second bite of the cherry to get yourself like a godlike piece. And it says here, once you've recast, you can choose whether you want the new one or the old one. You either keep what you had before, or you choose to change it to the new look. I think that's cool. It means you basically get a second chance at rolling a good piece, especially if you've got something which has got all of those substats that you like. So this feels good. I guess we'll see. We'll see. It just gives you a second potluck chance. It does say the essential item can be attained through various. So I guess you'll be able to pick up the thing you need to recast. You'll be able to pick up from various shops and stuff like that. This is nice as well. So in different stages, so Gear Raids 1, 2, and 3, from stages 19 to 21, they've added diamonds, shards, ancient summoning crystals to the drops. They've adjusted some of the stats and stuff like that, but without changing difficulty, they say. They've enhanced the overall performance of the fight. I did see something else which was cool. Yeah. So they've got a bunch of kind of like optimizations and stuff like that. But in terms of weekly and monthly quests, the rewards for clear any stage 50 times is now going to give you 5 summons instead of 10k gold. That's a good change. And the reward for clear any stages 200 times will give you 10 summons instead of 20k gold. Then they've got a bunch of optimizations here. I don't think I was looking through. There was not really anything too crazy to call out. Yeah, most of this is just kind of like just nice touches really on the game. So overall, quite a big patch coming in. And I know that they've also got some info that kind of dropped in here as well. So yeah, and on top of that, which I don't mention in these notes, we've got a version update here where there's going to get this kind of like a new drop of content mid-December, the Immortal Codex. So when I know more about that, I will let you know. But it does say here, brace yourself for the new Immortal Codex, a variety of unique bosses set to make their grand entrance, each with a different challenge. So that sounds pretty damn cool as well. So yeah, loads going on. I guess it talks a little bit more about the Arbiters here, but I don't think we get anything too juicy above what I've already told you. So loads going on. Big patch coming very soon. And then it looks like a new game mode or new kind of like boss fights mid-December as well. Watch Your Realms killing it as ever. Let me know what you think of the changes. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.